Let me see if I can get any closer to my Anhinga friend. He's gonna try and show me whose dock it is. It's an interesting bird. That bill right there is needle sharp. They use that thing to stab fish underneath the water when they're swimming. And he just made a big old freaking poop on my dock. This blue heron has got a huge Mayan cichlid. He caught him. I saw him catch him, and he's pretty far away. I'm trying to film from across the canal and seeing if I can get this on video, because if he gets this thing down, that would be impressive. Look at this thing. What a beast. Thing is massive. Is it releasing it? Come on, baby, get him down. Huh? It dropped him. He's gonna go for it again. Oh, he's just getting a better, come on. I want to see that thing go down that skinny little neck. For all you kids whose moms tell you to chew on smaller pieces, you gotta show her this video. That Mayan cichlid is probably pushing at least a pound. And you might not be able to tell from this video, but for you guys that don't know what a blue heron looks like, that's a massive bird. He's got a wingspan of over 6 feet. If he were to stand up straight, he'd probably be standing at least 4 feet tall from his feet to his head. Oh, come on, baby. I'm filming from at least, I'll call it 60 yards, 70 yards. So these birds have no teeth, and obviously they have no hands. So the only way that that thing eats that fish is if it swallows it whole. I'm gonna try and inch my way a little closer. Blue herons have a tendency to be a little skittish, so I don't want to disturb them. I'm moving my way closer a little bit. Oh, he just saw me. He saw me move and he put his head right up. Yeah, he sees me. They're super skittish, y'all. Is he gonna fly? Winter, by the way, it's really cold today. It was in the 40s tonight, which is really uncommon for South Florida. I think it got down to 46 in Fort Lauderdale. So the Mayan cichlid, being a tropical fish, is probably a little lethargic. And this blue heron capitalized. But it's also got, I don't know if it's pretty far, but you might be able to see it's got dark feathers on its face and head. Those are the breeding plumage of the great blue heron. It's now been almost 8 minutes since I started filming, and I've got an Anhinga on my dock making all kinds of noise, drying his wings. I've got gallinules making noise, but the star of the show is the great blue heron over here. Come on, get him down. See the dark feathers over his eye, the stripe over his eye? And there's a yellow crest that comes off the back of his head. And in the winter time, males get those darker feathers on their face and on their shoulder blade. And it's some kind of breeding plumage that shows it's time to make babies. Now, in the summertime, they lose that dark feathering, and it becomes more of a uniform gray. That thing is way bigger than its face. I don't think he's going to be able to get it down. See the breeding plumage on his chest, his big wispy looking feathers. It's like a big old beard. Apparently, lady great blue herons really like that. I would imagine that he wants to make sure that fish is completely dead before he puts it inside of his body. Because it's got some really sharp fins. The pectoral fin, actually more the dorsal fin. The dorsal fin and the anal fin of a Mayan cichlid, they've got some pretty impressive spikes. And that's a strong fish, so if that thing twitches too much while it's inside the gullet, I could see how those spikes would, at minimum, be really uncomfortable. Maximum, maybe even put a hole through the gullet, I don't know. So he's probably waiting it out. This guy here is yelling at me. Funny bird. He sits on my dock every day. What's the story here, buddy? He's stabbing it. So he's stabbing it. Making sure he's dead. You know, a lot of people think fish are, you know, like if they're out of the water for a minute, like if a person was underwater for a minute, they would drown. And people think it's the same when a fish comes out of the water, that if they're out of the water for a minute, they're dead. And while some fish species are sensitive, there's a lot of fish species that actually can live for quite a long time out of the water. That doesn't mean they're not getting damaged or their gills aren't getting damaged by lack of lubrication and whatnot, but they actually live out of the water for a lot longer than a lot of people realize. Looks like he's thinking about what to do. It's like, should I find something smaller to try to fit in my mouth? Or should I try again? And he just stabbed him right in the side. He's going to go to a location where he has more privacy, I guess, guys. He didn't like being on film. Guys, hope you liked the video.